Fast songs in 6/8 are some of the most exciting to play if you know how to lock in your strumming and your chord changes. In this lesson, I originally sent to a private student. I'm going to show you how to keep your strumming steady as you build speed step by step and switch chords smoothly. The whole song feels effortless. Best part, this system works on any fast song with frequent chord changes. Let's go. Yo, what is up? How you doing? Alrighty, man. So let's get it going. So Missing You by Christy Moore. These are the chords. I know Ultimate Guitar, it wasn't accurate. Now, first thing I'll say is the chords, of course, getting the correct chords is super important. What's more important is how you approach this, right? I have brought other players through Christy Moore's songs in the past, and the faster ones like Missing You. And the number one thing the players do is they try and sing and play it way too early. And because of that, it doesn't sound connected. So if there's one overarching message I have for this breakdown, it's not to sing it yet. And I wouldn't touch singing for at least, I'd say 3 weeks is what's coming up in my head. For a bit of fun, definitely. But there's too much chord. Watch how frequent the chord changes are. And it has a 6/8 strum pattern. So there's two very fast changing things going on. And to sing over those is to try and get it. And you want to be getting into that zone of feeling like, yeah, it's solid. So the chords, first thing is it's in a 6/8 time signature, which is it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Now, one little thing that's popping in my mind here, the time signature, it vary. I looked it up online. There may be other schools of thought that say it's a different time signature. This is correct. I'm going to play what it is just so you can see. So if I play it here, this is what we got. So I go, oh, I'm missing you. I give all of the price of the fight. Right, so it's legit, it works. So a quick breakdown and then we'll get into the specifics. So first thing is the chords, there's no consistency going on really in this one line apart from the G and the D. And then the second line, you repeat the G and the D, the G and the D, the A, the E minor. So your work will last when you do it that way, right? Now, and that extra bar at the end is normal. So that's your chorus. Then you have your verse. E minor, A, B minor, B minor, B minor, back to E minor. Tricky thing to watch here is it ends and begins on the same chord. 9 out of 10 players, when they're learning this verse, they'll play that and they'll jump straight to here. So just be sure that you're doing the double E minor. Now, first thing, number one, is to count consistently. And I do this off the guitar even. I would make it a habit to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Because when you think about it, if we're not counting consistently, we're not going to play consistently. So it's really important. So count consistently is a habit. So you can do that off the guitar. The second thing is play consistently on each chord. Now, I have the full strum pattern written here, right? The only difference between the one I've guided you on above and the one down here is that there's an up strum. It seems like something really small and like that. It's like, oh, it's only an extra up. I'll do that. It's enough to derail everything. So for the start, be sure that you're only doing downs. So I'll give the. I know I'm hammering the point here about not going singing too soon and not trying to strum too soon. It's because I've seen players. You know the way it goes. Like players will. Let's just say you try and sing and play it right away. You're trying the up arrow. There's too much moving parts, and the pattern will be for every player. It's that a couple of weeks will go by, and you'll kind of go, look, I'll try a different song. I might get that completed sooner. This breakdown is the way to break it down completely. So the pattern, you're going to count that. Now, there are 6 in each bar. So this would be your G. This would be your D in this example here. Right? So it's like you do 3 down strums on G, 3 down strums on D. Right? Now, key thing is I've written big arrow, small arrow, small arrow. big arrow, small arrow, small arrow. So I'm going like this. I'm going to go big screen a sec. There we go. Okay, so G's on, 4-finger G, and watch my strum. That's what I'm doing, right? So it's fuller down, 2 light downs. It moves fast, so you've got to play super light and super economical. If your hand is going super wide and we won't pick up speed enough. It's got to be, think of the Formula 1 cars, they're like so light because they can go so fast. We want to be the same. So again, you got to practice this, you got to break it down, you got to stay on one chord, training your hand as a habit to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I ain't joking, right? That there with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the practicing the count and staying on that G chord and training your hand to behave that way. That I would spend all my time on that until it becomes automatic. Because look at what's coming down the line. Look at all those chord changes. Like we've got to put some parts for playing automatic into our hand, so that with all these chord changes you can kind of focus on them and you can kind of let the hand tick away and do the rhythm, right? And a little side note, I would rewatch this video at least 5 times, right? I have probably shared, I'd say 7 points so far, practice points that a lot of players will skip over. They go, sure, look, just show that other rhythm on the board there, that exciting rhythm, the one with the up. I want to get at that because I want to sing it. These mini little Lego bricks are the way. So we got our G, the D. So you practice your count and you play consistently on each chord before linking them. That is the second huge lesson. So what do I mean consistently on each chord? Think of it this way. If this was a video game where you beat one baddie, then the next one pops up on screen, you beat him. Next one pops up, you beat them. But that makes sense in a video game. On guitar, we tend to read it left to right and play to the end and kind of go, how did it go? I'm not sure. So what you want to do is you want to treat each of these their own thing. So you would play 1, 2, 3 on G consistently over and over. Then you do the same on D. I have it written out here. You do it on D. You're going to consistently on D? Brilliant. Then you try G going to D. You go G, 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 D, D, D. And that gives you 1 bar. There you go. Right, and this takes time. I'm sharing it in like a couple of seconds, but man, this could take an hour. But it will improve your strumming on those chords, and think of it this way, it's going to pay off all over the song. That's why. Then you do the same on A on its own, on E minor on its own, then A to E minor on its together, right? Together on their own. So I need another cup of coffee. So that is that one. So then what you do is you go back and you check, can you play G to D still? Because you know yourself, like when you start new songs, you go back to old songs, you go, man, I used to know that. This can happen in a millisecond with this stuff because it's new. So you go back to G to D, you go back to A to E minor, and then you combine them up 2 bars together. You're going G, 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 D, 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 A, E minor, like that. And then that will be your practice point. And you're all the time you're aiming for consistency and certainty. If I asked you, hey, how's that going? You go, oh, geez, I don't know. That means we've expanded it out too fast, too far, too soon. You want to bring it down so you can say to me, I got the G to the D. That D to A is catch me out. You want to know. Because when you know, you can do something about it. So that's G, D, A, E minor. Then you break down the next bit the exact same way. And by the way, you'll have a quick win here. Your work on G to D will pay off here. Then you add in B minor. New chord alert. So I've written B minor 7 here, right? And that will take, you want it like, and that's your priority then. It's to go from D to B minor 7. And that's where you kind of like, I'll put it this way. Something happened here in the house last year where I'd woken up, I had a ton of plans for the day, and there was a, what you call that thing? I won't go to the sink. The pipe under the sink burst. It leaked. and there's water going all over the bathroom. And my number one urgent priority in my life at that stage was to stop the water flowing. Second urgent priority was to phone somebody to come and fix it. And all my other stuff I deemed really important were suddenly down the list. I got back to them. Now, where I'm going with that, this B minor is the burst pipe. This is the burst pipe. This is the urgent thing to work on then. So you'll want to train it over and over. You want to do D to B minor 7 back and over until it sounds as smooth as going from G to D. Right? And I wouldn't move on until that happens. Because think of it this way. If you spend too little on B minor and just rush into this line, what are you going to really talk about if I asked you, how's the chorus going? Oh, that B minor. If it's the B minor, you throw all your time and effort and energy and action at it and get it, right? Then, so that is the chorus. Now, I'm going to stop yapping and play it for a second so you can see it. All right, so this is the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm missing you under Piccadilly's neon. Right, that's our chorus. I know Christy plays way faster, but just keep it so slow and smooth. We can build it up from there. Now, everything I shared, that's the exact approach on how to learn the verse. The verse goes 4 times. I'll play it fast and I'll slow it down. In 1986, and you can't live on the veranda alone to the heavenly shore. And then if you went, oh, I'm missing you. Right, so I'll just flow in. And at times there I did the 3 downs, and other times I add in that little up. It adds a little hop skip to it, right? So that is the verse. Same setup, my friend. That's why I'm saying you rewatch this video at least 5 times. You are going to begin to break down songs the way I'm breaking it down here as a guitar teacher, and that's going to help your playing so much. So E minor on its own, get A to B minor, then do this, then do this on its own, then do these, right? And then you're all the time connecting up. If it is not working consistently, you break it down to a smaller chunk. So let's say you try, I'll give this top one as an example. Let's say you try these 4 bars and it kind of breaks apart. Give it another go. But if you strike out 3 times, you pause and you go, was it the start or the second half that caught me out? I think it was the start. Okay, drill those 2 bars. And then if all of a sudden that's coming apart, look at it and go, I think it's the A to E minor. Drill that, right? Over and over. Then you expand it back out. And then you zoom out again and you go back to the song. All the time, you're either zooming out or zooming in on what needs focus. All right? So, before linking them, that's B minor 7. And finally then, I've written down that's the way you break that. It's the same way. And I'll send you on these, the board notes, of course. And man, any questions, let me know. Please do not start singing it too soon. I mean this with all my guitar teaching heart. It adds chaos to it in magnitudes of order that Albert Einstein couldn't comprehend. So, and that's, by the way, that's for everybody. That is for everybody. I just want to share that too. So, last thing. You could, because I know you get bored doing all downs, you could do the down, down, up, down, on chords on their absolute own. Absolute own. So what I mean by that is, you take G on its own and you practice that on its own on G. You do the same thing on D on its own. But please don't try the approach I used with the strum pattern. All you got to do is hang tight for a while, get it with downs, and all we're doing is adding a little up then, and your hand will be trained to link in those downs. All right? I think that's about it, man. So, and by the way, you'll notice here, the song order doesn't matter yet. What words you sing over, and it doesn't matter yet. It's just about getting this ticking. And I'm trying to think what other songs like the great news is like this works on other songs as well. What was that other Christy or do you remember that one? That Live at the Point album, so good. Okay, I'm gonna start rambling. Good work. Last little tip is the down, down, up, down goes like this. Do you see the way that my down is full? Now the down, up, down is on the thinner strings, the 3 or 4 strings. Again, you're going light. Alrighty, man. Now I would recommend that you go through this yourself again, at least 5 times. As I said, take good notes, like take a pen and paper, write the notes. I have a little transcription tool that will break down the bullet points, but it will go way more into the brain, the memory, if you do it yourself manually as well. Actually, on a side note, I heard this interesting thing lately that we're using 45% less of our brains using AI to write anymore, which I thought was very interesting. So in terms of the transcription, I'll give you the transcription so it's done for you, but be sure to watch this video, all right? I'll be watching the view counts on the back end. I'm joking. All right, man, have a great weekend. Keep up the great work and great song requests.